Hey everyone, it's Sam. Welcome to another inbox review. Today we're going to look at this brand new Tamiya 148th Challenger 2 armour kit. So I saw this was announced a while back. I did the rifle 35th scale Charlie a couple of years ago. Really enjoyed that. I've never built a desertised Challenger, and I've never built any of the Tamiya ones either. So I was looking around and I thought, you know what? I really like and rate these 48th scale Tamiya kits. They are lovely. I've built a few of them in the past. Built a good half dozen of them over the years, I think, and every one of them has been fantastic. And I thought, you know what? They're cheap. They're a quick build. It'd be a nice little mojo booster. I've been wanting to do a piece of arm for a while. Maybe it'll be just that little bit of a, spur to get back into arm. Not that I ever really. I did stop armour for a long time, but I started building again a couple of years ago and really enjoyed it. So I've had a few kits in the stash for the past couple of years that I will build. But I think this will be a nice quick build. It looks a good kit, a quick look in there. So I thought, let's get it and let's have a go building. So you may well see this soon. Anyway, let's get into the review and have a look what we get in the box. Hey everyone, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications, get notified of our latest videos, give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and leave a comment. I do read and appreciate every comment you guys and girls leave behind. I may not reply to them all, but they are all appreciated. And there's a link in the description of the video that takes you to a big long list of all handy videos and a lot of the products I use in my videos. You now have the chance to support the video content creation by using Patreon or the PayPal me link in the description down below. All the videos always remain free to watch. This is just your chance to help support the videos. Right then, so here we go. Tamiya's brand new 48 scale British main battle tank Challenger 2 desertised in 48 scale. Like I said, brand spanking new out. Arrived with me today, and I plan to do a review of it for you all. So, absolutely beautiful box art. Loving that. Very, very cool box art. I think these are depicted in Iraq in 2003. And what an awesome looking battle tank. One of the best looking ones out of all of them, in my opinion. And I watched my build a few years back. I did the 35th scale rifle one, and that was a great build. But I love these 48 scale kits. They're very interesting to build. And really high quality from Tamiya. In fact, I rate these more than their 35th scale. So, yes. As you can see, we've got side, front and rear profiles on one side. It's calling out for TS46 or LP30, the sand colour of the main body. You've got an overhead shot there. Royal Scots Dragoon Guards in 7th Armour Brigade, Iraq, 2003 April. Some Chinese there, which sadly we can't read. So, look the box art. And as it says on the front, authentically reproduced in combat 48 scale, captures Iraq war features such as additional armour and canvas skirts, angle form of 120mm gun. Assembly type tracks are Indie-link tracks with single piece straight sections, and the decals depict periscope face and combat identification panels. And there's a metal weight included, and the commander figure is included as well in the kit. So let's get it open. If you've not built one of these kits before, they are superb. I've built a few of them now. They are great fun to build. I did the Abrams not long ago. Really enjoyed that. And there's a good chance I might build this pretty soon because they're a nice scale to work with. They're a nice quick build. And I fancy doing a bit of armor sometimes. So maybe this might scratch an itch and start a few more potential builds on the way. So in here we've got 2 sprues in there, a sprue in there, 2 in there with some strings, some poly caps. We have the instructions, we've got the colour call out, decal placement, a little bit of info on the tank there as well, which I will hold up for you to read. Should you want to, you can pause that. And in all different languages. Again, should you wish to read it, you can pause it. Have a little look if you want. We'll have a proper look at that in a little bit. You've got Tamiya's tech tips and what have you. Metal bar for the weight for the kit. And a decal sheet, which we'll get to in a little bit as well. So we'll move all that to one side. And we'll start off with the main larger components. So I will need a knife, which I have. Tamiya staples. So we won't need a knife thinking about it. So here's the first sprue apart. So we've got the lower hull with all the suspension already glued in place. We've got the side of the turret here with the ID panels. We've got that front, I think it's an additional plate on the front it was saying. Side skirts with some beautiful detail on there. Hopefully you can zoom in and see that. very nice canvas skirts, which look beautifully moulded. Look at them, they look great. Once you get them painted, a bit of a wash on there, a bit of a dry brush, they're going to look absolutely beautiful. As you see, all mould on detail is already on there, because a lot of the bigger kits have to glue all that on, so they are going to be a quick build. Moulded in a tan plastic, and yeah, no real problems with this. It's got the reactive armour on it as well. Very, very nice. Crisp, clean, perfect Tamiya. Just what you'd expect, especially from a new tool in 2022. Absolutely beautiful. Like I say, the texture on the side skirt is absolutely stunning. Very nice. Not really much to look at on the lower hull. There's a bit of detail, but with a bit of weathering, it'll all be hidden anyway. And then the front plate there as well. And I'm pretty sure that's an additional plate on the front. I may well be wrong, but if I am, hey ho. So there's one. We've got the upper hull, upper and lower parts of the turret. So typical Challenger top. So we've got some nice detail on there. Like you say, you get a wash on this, it's going to come absolutely alive. Obviously all the hatches are closed. Engine covers are just depicted with slotted grills rather than being open and get a bit of photo edge. But get a bit of wash in there. They'll look good. The toolboxes and that, the rubber strip across the back, I need painting. It's always a tricky little paint that, but it looks good once it's done. And yeah, again, flawlessly moulded. Absolutely beautiful. You can have some tricky little clean-up points just on the side here, but overall they'll be good. I'm assuming, yeah, there's locating points here to attach everything together as well. I think there's some structural bars in the middle, so they'll probably connect in place, but the upper hull looks good. No texture on it whatsoever. Whether that's true for the real vehicle, I don't know. Upper part of the turret, again, once you get a wash in there, it'll come alive. It really, really will. Very nice. Obviously, you've got both the cupolas. Must be openable. So that's quite nice. So we can have our figure sticking out should we wish, and then on the lower part of the turret itself, not much to look at other than locating points. But to be honest, most of the time I just cut those off and just plonk the turret on. It's easier. And unless you're going to be running it across the carpet, there's not much of a hassle of it falling out, is there really? But again, flawlessly moulded. Nice detail there. Once you get a wash in all those recesses, what have you, this thing will just come alive. It'll look beautiful. So, you know, as always, Tamiya, you really can't fault their mouldings at all. A little bit of cleanup, but it'd be a quick kit to build. You could build this in an afternoon, probably. A good few hours in an afternoon, you could easily get this thing together. Like I say, I kind of rate these more than their 35th scale counterparts. I often think they go together better. Right, so we've got the rear part of the hull there. We've got the external fuel tanks there as well. We'll come in closer and have a little look. We've got the GPMG there. We've got some fuel canisters there. We've got lots of little parts. Pry bar. The commander figure itself, we'll come and have a look. The gun breech. Cupola hatches and the gunners. The GPMG mount is there as well. The barrel transport lock, I think they're called, is it? Cupola ring is there, and then the barrel. So the barrel is one piece, which is always a nice touch. As you can see, completely one piece. There is a piece to go on the muzzle, but some nice detail on there. So you've got a bit of cleanup, which is all in easily reachable parts. So no real drama there at all. And there's some nice detail on there too. So again, once you get a wash in, it'll pop. It really will. And again, all the other parts just beautifully moulded. The commander figure's there. As you can see, if we can get right in, you'll be able to have a little look. We just tap focus on him. Hopefully he's focused one way or other. Face is good on that actually. Pretty decent. So his headset on with his helmet. And then his body, torso is actually really well detailed as well. Very, very nice. and his arms and what have you are there as well. Obviously, it's an upper body figure, so he's just going to be sticking out the top of the tank itself. Fuel tank's got some fairly nice detail on them. We've got the straps at the top. Obviously, they're moulded in half, so you have to glue them together, so there's a seam line to deal with. Shouldn't be too tricky, though, overall. Now, are they fuel or are they water? It's got to be water, isn't it, thinking about it? It will. It has to be water, I would say. So again, moulded in half, you have to glue those together. And then the little GPMGs there as well. And again, nicely detailed. Definitely is, with its ammo box there. Then we've got the antenna mount on the end as well. So some nice parts. Again, it's just Tamiya. It's flawlessly moulded. You know it's going to go together with no drama whatsoever. And like I say, a quick afternoon's build. Easily, in a good few hours, you could do this. So, yeah, you could easily get that done. Right, final bag of bits, and it's a duplicate sprue. So we can ditch one and show the other. There we go. So in the bag, first of all, we have some polycaps. As you can see there, standard Tamiya polycaps. And some of the string, which to be fair, once it's painted up, does depict cable quite well. There's a good length of that for the tow cables. So again, not a problem at all. And then this sprue, like I say, 2 of these in total. So we've got road wheels, sprockets, return rollers, the tracks themselves as well, which are alright. I don't mind these tracks. The Indie links aren't too bad. So you've got the larger sections for the top and bottom, and then where they go around the return rollers, the idler, and the sprocket. They're individual bits that you just put around yourself. Easy to do if you know how. Best way to do it is get your front section, the big sections together, get the wheels on the tank, even if it's just temporarily. Start at the bottom with the larger section, build these up with Tamiya extra thin, and start wrapping them around the sprocket. So form the shape, and then get the top piece on, but don't glue the last section together. So that way you can separate it. You can get it all back off the sprocket, all back off the wheels, so you can paint it all separately. And at the very end, you can pop it all back on in one go. That's how I normally do it. If there's a side skirt, anything like that, if you're struggling, just glue them in place, paint the tank, and then paint these separately at the end. It's a much easier way to do it. But if you can get the wheels back off, it makes life easier, because you usually have rubber around the outer edge. They'll need masking. But I do like the Indie links. They're not too shabby to do. But again, nice detail. Washers will pop in these. The tracks look pretty decent, to be fair. As long as you follow the instructions properly, you'll have no drama at all. And yeah, just nice clean parts, nice clean moulding. Like I say, track detail is pretty decent. You can see on the front and the back, or the top and the bottom rather. We've got some detail there on the sprocket, the wheels, the idler, a few little parts there as well. Smoke or flare discharges are there as well. And then this is one of the cross braces for the inside the tank, so there must be 2 of those. I think that's where the upper hull locates into as well. So the plastic marks are top notch. They really are. It's just typical Tamiya. You're guaranteed near enough every time with Tamiya. It's just going to fall together, and the parts are just flawlessly moulded. Not a hint of flash. There'll be seams on things to get rid of, because there always is, but it'll be the slightest seam. It really will be something that's hardly visible, and just top quality moulding as always from Tamiya. Now, as a metal weight, I mean, you could whack someone on the back of the head and do a bit of damage with that. And I think the idea with this is, to add a bit of realistic weight to them. It makes them feel like a real tank. I don't know how that works. Either I'd stop it blowing away your display cabinet, one or the other. But it's a bit of a strange thing to do, adding weight to a plastic scale model. But I'll probably put it in, because it is nice to have a little bit of heft or something. That's probably the whole reason that it's in there. So yeah, you got the weight as well, and then the decals, which we'll have a look here as well. These are newer Tamiya decals. I've used a few of these over the years. They seem to have upped their game a touch in the last few years, so these should go on no problem. There's a few of them to go on. They are the new ones. You can tell by how satin finish they are. So I believe there's only one decal scheme on this, so you're probably going to use most of those anyway. And yeah, they shouldn't cause any problems at all. Not at all. So the good decals, I've used them on a few of the newer car kits and they've gone on pretty well. No issues at all. Just take your time with them and get them on. As I say, paperwork, we've got the Tamiya Tech Tips with our old friend at the old catalogues about do's and don'ts and what have you. So, you know, make sure you don't slice your fingers off and drink bloody dinner while you're building it. It's just all the basic stuff, really. Which I suppose someone's bought a kit for the first time. It's quite a handy thing to get in the pack, isn't it? But for us seasoned modelers, it's pretty useless, to be honest. Beautiful side profile of the tank. It's a beautiful looking piece of armour. Always has been the Chally. It is lovely. And like I say, on the back piece, we've got front, side, rear, and up above profiles, all the decal locations. Like I said, there are a few decals on this. It does have quite a lot on it. Will a gloss coat before? Don't know. We'll play that by ear because we're going to use the LP on it probably. So if we chuck a bit of retarder in the paint, it should go pretty, you know, semi-gloss anyway. I think that'd be more than adequate for doing it. But yeah, nice. Nice. Great looking piece of armour. Really is an iconic piece of armour. And I know this will go together just fine. It's kind of how I want to build it. Nice little mojo boost. Instructions, typical Tamiya pamphlet. Why they haven't moved on to booklet style, I don't know. We'll start with that weight in the lower hull. Fixed position according to weight size. Okay, so it must be a movable. Oh, it's these things, is it? No, is it them? 820, I know it's that. So that must move around to hold the weight. Different. They're using multi-purpose cement. Then we're getting the wheels on, the drive sprocket guides, I don't know what we call them, to be honest. Rear plate going in place. So you've got all the different convoy lights on the back as well. Drive sprockets, road wheels, idle wheels. And then the bulkheads, like I said, those two bulkheads are there as well, which go on in place. Tracks. Like I say, easiest way of doing these is get all your road wheels on. Temporarily, don't glue them in place. Don't commit to glue. Get everything in place. Obviously, these will pop on and off with the poly caps anyway. Get the lower section in, these section in, and use the wheels as a template to build it up and round. And if it was me, I would probably leave. In fact, you know what? It doesn't even give us the full track. I've just realised. Look, it only gives us the track up to the front because it's hidden by the skirts. Wow. Okay. And the tracks actually fit on those bars. Okay, that's different. So they are, if we do it that way, going to have to go on before the upper hull goes on, because it's going to lock them in place. So you are painting these tracks whilst they are on the vehicle. Okay, I'm not sure if I like that, to be honest. I wonder if we can get that around that by cutting off those pins and just slotting them through. That's something we're going to have to look at, and it locks in one of the bottom pieces as well. We're going to have a look at that and see how that fits in, because I don't want to be mucking around trying to paint these while they're on the vehicle. So yeah, that's going to need looking at. And then obviously getting the upper hull on, the side skirts there as well are in place. Attaching the exhausts, spare track links on the back. So it's pretty straightforward, really. Nice, easy build. Honestly, you could, with a bit of, you know, an free afternoon, you probably get this built. These are going to need filling, sanding and filling, so you have to glue them together. Fill them with your filler of choice and give them a good sand, because that's going to be a bit of a pain. And then obviously all the rear hull parts, getting the external fuel tanks in place, the jerry can rack in the back as well, headlights, fire extinguishers, etc, etc. GPMG, paint it up and mount it on the turret and get the turret in place, and the commander figure there as well. So he's in the typical desert uniform. I forget the name now. Absolutely forget the name. And then our tow cables on the side as well. So obviously it gives you this specific length to cut them. I would double check that. It's the same with Tamiya bikes. It gives you sizes for the hoses. I always add a little bit because I always find it makes you cut them a little bit short. So double check that before you commit to doing it. And there we go. And then painting it. So Challenger 2 paint tanks generally had NATO black camouflage applied over their NATO green base colour. Those deployed in desert in the Middle East were painted in light sand. In the services of the crew and side hatches retained their original colour. Original wear and tear led to the original colour showing through. There you go. So inside corrugated sections of the combat engine panels were white. Paint structural details indicated during assembly. It refers to the packaging as well. Details on applying instructions. Applying the decals and your spare parts list as well. And there we go. That is it. A nice, simple, quick, easy kit. So there we go. That looks spot on. What more? I always find the Tamiya kits a little bit of a bore to review because there's never anything really negative other than the staples to moan about. They're always just top quality, simple kits that are going to go together almost with no issue at all. Just a perfect kind of beginner model. And you can't go wrong with Tamiya across the board with most things at all. And this is certainly no exception. I really like these 48 scales. As I said several times, I kind of rate them more than the 35th scale armour. I think they're all just top quality, great little kits. And if you're looking for a first armour kit or a Mojo boost, then certainly have a look at these because there's a load of them in the range. There's loads of them. I think this is number, which one's this? It's 101. So according to that, Tamiya's got 101 48 scale military subjects. Now, a lot of those are transport vehicles, not tracked vehicles. There's a few of them in there. I'm assuming they don't include their aircraft in those numbers. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, actually. It'd be interesting to find out. If anyone knows, let me know. But there's certainly a lot of these. There's loads of them. And I've built a few over the years. I've done the Abrams, Tiger 1, Panther G, Panzer 4. I'm trying to think where I've done that. There's loads. And they're good. They're a good size kit to build. They're not a Mojo dragger. Like I say, you could build these really quick. Most Tamiya armor kits, if you're a skilled builder, you can build them really quick. There's nothing to them at all. But we will have to think about those tracks. I don't want to glue them in place. I have to paint them on the vehicle. I'd never like doing that. So we'll have to weigh that up as we're building it and see how that goes. But overall, top quality kit from Tamiya. What more can you expect? £25 kit, really heavy. No, it's a £25 kit, not expensive at all. And for me, yeah, I like these. Get the commander figure in there, and it's a brand new toolkit. So what more can you ask for the money? There you go. If you've got one, if you've built one, let me know. It's fairly new, so it's probably less likely of anyone building them. Or if you're thinking of getting one, let me know in the comments down below. But there you go. There's my thoughts on the new Tamiya Challenger kit. So there we are. Thanks for watching today. As always, like to support the channel. There's a Patreon me, PayPal me, and a Buy Me Coffee link down below. I'm going to go for the usual spiel. Bear with me. If you stick around, there's a question at the end. If you go on Patreon, become a tier 2 or higher, get 2 weeks early access on the videos. So you'll see this 2 weeks before everybody else. If you're already watching this, there's other ones there as well. And you get a whole host of other things as well. There's perks to all the tiers. Click on it. You also get an exclusive weekly live stream on a Wednesday morning. And the knowledge in knowing that you're keeping these videos and live streams going as well. And obviously there's PayPal me and a Buy Me Coffee link. Also links to everything ISM and UMP related down below. All the forum, Facebook page, umpretail.com. My own personal and Facebook modelling page is there. My Scalemate stash is where if you want to become a friend on Scalemate, you can add me. And there's also an email address to contact me directly should you want to ask me any questions. And there's also my Amazon affiliate store and my product list of all the stuff I use in my videos. So before you go, wait a minute. If you're not subbed, make sure you're subbed. Click the bell notifications to get notified of all the latest videos. Give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment. I love reading all your comments. It really drives me through making more videos and keeping the content flowing. And the question for today: what is your favourite piece of armour? If you're an armour model, or even if you're not, what do you look at and think, wow, they look awesome? Top 3, I think for me, are going to be I'm going to be boring. I'm going to be Challenger, Charlie 2, Abrams, and Leopard. Love the Leopard. All great looking modern day battle tanks, but pretty boring there. I also like the T-72s, T-55s, things like that as well. And of course, I love my German armour, so hailing back to King Tigers, Panzer IVs, Panthers. Speaking of which, I've got 2 Airfix 35th scale armour kits to review as well, and they'll be coming up next, so keep an eye out for those. There we go. Let me know your answer down below. Thanks for watching today. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.